was Sunday afternoon, and we had one more man who was going to show up. And he was coming over to meet a 14-year-old boy. And I believe we had a description of his car. So we see it pull up, and it's an SUV.
He's in the driveway, Dell, but I can't hear you coming back at me. He's backing out now. He's backing out of the driveway. He's backing out of the driveway. Yeah, looks like he's going to park on the street. Can you hear me, Dell?
He gets out and goes to the rear passenger side. We think maybe he's going to get beer, pizza, stuff that we see these guys bring all the time. Instead, he grabs the hand of his 5-year-old son and leads him out of the car and up the driveway. And I hear Frag say,
"Oh, no. He brought his son with him. He's got his child with him."
Apparently, the mother of the child, his wife, was working that day. He was in charge of the child and figured he'd just bring him along. And there was a collective gasp that you could hear in the house.
He's going up to the front door and he has his child with him.
Go out of the back. This door doesn't open.
He's one of these guys who had a very short online chat, but then on the phone is graphic about what he wants to do. And he has this conversation with Dell, who's posing as the 14-year-old boy.
Making the turn, coming in the back door, coming through, walking into the living room, holler up.
And so I'm thinking, all right, how do I handle this? And so he comes in, he's got the kid by the hand, and I walk out, and he's startled. I gotta tell you something, and I'm gonna tell you just straight up right now. I'm Chris Hansen with Daylight NBC.
Okay.
We're doing a story on adults eating children, and since you have your child here, I'm not going to pursue this.
Okay.
But I think you know what you were doing here, don't you?
No, I was just doing this with lunch.
Take a boy out to lunch you met on the internet.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
My point is, because your child is here, I think it'd be best if you just went ahead and left.
Yeah, I agree. I'm never going to do this again.
And of course, Frag is talking to the police saying, this has got to be a different sort of arrest.
Rob, we're going to send this guy out without an interview because he got his kid.
Sir, right there. You come here. You come here. Let go of the child.
As gently as the female officer scooped him up, he still had to see his father get arrested.
Please give me my son, please. Can you please have my son, please?
Somebody get the car seat out of his vehicle.
You got to remember that these guys who work with me on these investigations have done other investigations with me in some of the darkest parts of the world and exposed some of the most tragic things you can see happen to kids and people. And they were just blown away. I mean, some of these guys were in tears.
Put your seatbelt on, buddy. You're going for a 2-minute ride, okay?
Based upon his interview with police, the chat log, and everything else, it doesn't seem like he was going to involve the child in any sex act. It seemed like he was going to set the kid up in a room with a DVD and go do whatever he was going to do with this 14-year-old in another location. During his interview with police, he suggested that it was the lack of intimacy in his marriage that drove him to do this. There was a state investigation to see if the boy in any way had been abused. Pending that, relatives have told us that at first the boy was living with the mother, then the boy went to go live with other relatives because the mother took the father back in. And that was the situation.
You got the phone records, taped conversations. Am I being held up here?